We have been spying on Earth for nearly 2 decades now, ever since humanity had discovered nuclear power. A science vessel that had entered the solar system had picked up the energy readings caused by the large explosion. The Salvarian military was assigned to Earth, with orders to spy on the planet, while the politicians bickered over what we should do. Some felt we should leave humanity to their own affairs, shouting things like, "They aren't even spacefaring yet. Let them bomb themselves." While others said, "We need to stop them now. Their system is in our territory, and if they are this violent to each other, imagine how destructive they could be to us." The military had its own ideas, though. Our generals felt that humanity would be the perfect grunt species for our military. Earth was also clearly rich with materials we could use for our ever-growing empire. And so, 20 years later, the order was given. Earth was to be invaded. It was 1965 according to human calendar, when I led my fleet into Earth's orbit. The Senate had given me the honor of conquering Earth in the name of the great Salvarian Empire. I gave the order to my fleet, ships positioning themselves in orbit above each of the major continents. Our troops were deployed, bombing military bases, invading cities, overrunning the comparatively primitive human soldiers. It only took us 3 days for us to put a solid grip on the human planet. We transmitted a message to every viewing screen on the planet, to every leader of the Earth governments: surrender yourselves now and be spared, or we will glass your planet. We were met with silence for several hours, as countries sent their ambassadors to the last standing UN building we hadn't tried occupying yet. We allowed this. To humans, we might as well let them talk and cope. After several hours, every country submitted their surrender. Oh, that is but one which remained silent. A country in what the humans called North America had refused to answer. This country had by far been the most stubborn during our invasion. They fought tooth and nail. Even their civilians were armed. We had begun heavily fortifying our footholds in North America, sending our troops reinforcements, supplies, weapons, everything they'd need for a prolonged war. I remember the day it went down. The vessel assigned to North America was that of my very dear friend, Admiral Azthrak. We had both gone to the Naval Academy together, fought side by side in several naval engagements. I assigned him to the stubborn region of the globe due to his experience. If any admiral in my fleet was qualified to squash this rebellious country, it was him. He had fortified his grounds to the extreme, put as many troops on the ground as he could afford, and then some. None of us expected the flaw this would become. The humans were so primitive. There was no way they'd be able to retaliate in any meaningful way. Several dropships were returning from their supply run, boarding Azthrak's mighty ship. I was monitoring the fleet's battle net as we prepared for our strike. I remember it well. The dropships requested clearance to land, and of course, permission was granted. They had to be allowed to board to avoid a nasty accident. Not even 5 minutes in the battle net was flooded with communications from Azthrak's vessel. They were under siege. Somehow the blasted humans had hijacked the dropships, killing the pilots after they were clear to land, and were now ambushing the ship. I immediately ordered several of my own dropships to prepare for a boarding action, and ordered other nearby ships to do the same. The battle net was a mess as the blasted humans attacked the ship. At first we thought it would end quickly, that the humans would be defeated soon. But this was quickly proven wrong. They had hijacked many more dropships, boarding the ship at an equal rate to our own ships. We couldn't get a hold of Azthrak's ship. Reports that the humans had even started using our own weapons against us had also begun flooding the battle net. I ordered my bridge crew to skin Azthrak's vessel and attract the engagements. I ordered that every spare soldier I had been sent after the blasted ship to clear out those damned humans. I watched on our screen as the scanner showed the humans boarding and fanning out across the ship in strategic locations. They took armories, engineering, the engine room itself even, and every bloody airbay had been taken by the humans, making boarding the ship even harder, almost impossible. The battle net was a chaotic mess. Ship commanders and foot soldiers screaming orders and trying to find ways to stop the assault, mixed with screams of frustration and struggle. Try and flank them. Cut through that damned wall. Get us in there. They're using the bloody vents. It was a horrible mess. We were losing. How were we losing to these primitive beings? I shouted, watching the human forces take more of the ship. I watched them making their way to the bridge of Azthrak's ship. We received one final message, Azthrak messaging me directly. I ordered that the message be put on the screen. I saw my dear friend, defeated in his eyes as he spoke. My old friend, it's been an honor serving with you. I slammed my fist against the control panel of my ship. Damn it. Hold tight, I'll get my dropship. We're not losing to these blasted Dash. I wasn't able to finish my sentence. The bridge door was blown open. There was gunfire, laser fire, before the screen went blank. We had lost all communications with Azthrak, and our scanners had been jammed. It was several hours long. The fleet was starting to exhaust its reserve troops, and talk of just blasting the ship to hell was being bounced around. I shut that idea down immediately, insisting that there was no way that Azthrak had lost to these damned humans. Then, we had gotten it, that last message ever from that ship. It was in a human language, one we didn't recognize. Yet it communicated perfectly to us, filling us all with a horrid confirmation of that I wish to deny. Semper Fi.